I made so many really stupid, cringeworthy mistakes. Like really when I think about them, I'm like, whoa.
It was early on. When I started comedy, I just didn't make friends. It was so weird. It was like, I was friendly and nice to people as I am, but I kind of went into it and I was like, oh, I've already got heaps of friends and I'm at capacity. Like I don't even have time to see the friends I've got. I don't need to make comedy friends as well. So dumb. Make some friends, guys, because it makes it so much easier.
I think it's important to trust your instincts, and in hindsight, they've all kind of been right.
Well, if I want to be brief, the biggest mistake I've made is not believing that people actually like what I do sometimes.
And just letting my fear and anxiety dictate what I'm doing. You know, outside factors are telling me that I'm doing okay, but listening to the little fear voice, you know, I think has held me back. That's probably what I regret the most.
It doesn't matter as much as you think it does because the people that like you will find you and stick around.
I guess for me, especially and just on a personal level, just trusting in ideas and knowing that it will be fine. I think just enjoying it a bit more.
The biggest mistake I've made is not defining roles at the start of a collaboration.
Not getting things in writing, definitely number one. Everybody, I think, when you start a show has great intentions, really, really wonderful intentions, and you think it's all going to be great.
I wrote a play. I don't know if it was good. It was interesting, and I was at uni, I was at postgrad, so I was a bit older than everybody else there. And the other actor dropped out. I was one of the actors, it was a two-hander, and they dropped out about 2 weeks before we were on. Because if you say you're going to do it, do it.
The last show I did was Feast and at Melbourne Comedy Festival, and I loved the show. It was a great show, but I just didn't hit the market enough. And part of that was I didn't do enough marketing. I guess just having an assumption that people, just because they've enjoyed a show 12 months ago, that are going to necessarily come the next year, has probably been a bit of a stuff up for me.
My biggest mistake was probably not saying no more often. And now I realise that's what you should be doing. You should really assess every offer you get or everything that you think you're supposed to do and say, well, is this right for me? And if you don't feel it, don't bother with it.
A mistake that I made earlier on with self-producing, I actually didn't realise I was more capable than I thought I was. For example, I'd hired a publicist and spent a lot of money on that, which in the end just wasn't something that was quite worthwhile for what I actually needed, and I was actually quite capable of doing myself.
I've done a few shows where at the end of the season I'm like, that was the wrong space, that was the wrong festival, it was the wrong time, and that can be really frustrating. You don't always know that until after the fact, which is another frustrating thing.
I had a manager who went, yes, you've got to do Adelaide Fringe. She got me a really big, good venue in Adelaide. She didn't come over, and I spent about 12 grand on putting the show on, and I had no profile. It was my first ever solo show. I had no idea. You know, I'd done Melbourne Comedy Festival and stuff, but I had no idea what that festival was. And I just blew all that money, really. I lost half my superannuation. Oh, God.